You know, honestly, when you presented this trip to me, this is probably what sold me. You know, most people be like, yeah, Cabot. No, I want to go to Prince Edward Island because I've never been here before. Last time I was here, I didn't have the chance to make it this far. We talked about it, we thought about it, but it didn't happen. So, what else? Golf. There's golf here on Prince Edward Island, too.
I'm on my way.
We just woke up. Day 3.
Yeah.
Has a tag sticking out of his jacket. Yesterday was an absolute whirlwind. I don't even know.
What happened? Yeah.
It was busy. But we're here. And what time is it? 6 a.m. We're just droning right now.
About to
drone once we get
hopefully it's a bit of a crapshoot in the
a little bit of a crapshoot in the pro shop, but that's okay. If we get a card here, we'll zip out, we'll drone. The boys are sleeping, and then they'll be up in a couple hours. We tee off at 9:12 today, I think. So
9:12, yeah.
They get to sleep in at least.
What are the odds I get this tag off without me having to take the jacket off?
It's tough. A couple big updates. Pat got his tag off his jacket, and I believe we're getting into the pro shop.
Familiar territory.
Yeah, this is familiar territory.
Thanks so much, guys. Really appreciate it.
That was also quite the preemptive thank you. They haven't quite given us a cart yet, but it was more of like, we need a cart ASAP type of vibe. Is this ours? That's clutch. Thank you, sir. We're good to go. Okay, we're off.
Dude, what happened yesterday?
It was a busy day, man.
Greetings, girl, and welcome to my world of phrasing right up to bat. It's the daisy age and you're about to walk top stage, so wipe your lottos on the mat. Hip-hop love this is, and don't mind when I quiz your involvements before the sun. But clear your court, cause this a one-man sport, and who's better for this than plug?
I've thought a couple times coming back here to try and make it out to Prince Edward Island. Never had a chance, so here we are. It's my very first time. I'm excited to see it, check it out.
You'll stay with me, I know this, but not because of all my earthly treasures, or regardless to the fact that I'm past the noose, but because
Okay, we just got to Belfast Highland Greens. A little bit of a scramble getting here. I think Pat's vehicle stopped at a brewery. Questionable call. They probably had a great time. And they're running late. Tea time is 4:30. It's currently 4:10. And the other vehicle gets here at 4:18, they said. There's Emil. He's ready to go.
May it be filled with a pleasure principle in circumference to my voice.
Should we get some campfire wood for the links? Okay, check this out. We are working with 1, 2, 3, 4 par 5s today on this 9-holer. So Stableford format. There might be a few 8-pointers. We'll see.
Ball. You got it. Okay.
That's the wrong tire track.
Which cloud?
Now it's time to let this rhyme stop.
That was a good one, eh?
My plantation of daisies for a bouquet of soul. Like to begin at the cut of a rim. Take it as filled to the rim as in brim. Squeeze your stoop like Betty Boop. Then make camel alphabet soup and spell plug ones within. Forward margin to say when transistors will play. Come into bed.
break something today.
Shit, I didn't get it. I can't believe you just did that. Did not capture it, but you chipped in. I got the duff and then hold the next one. Nice par.
That's the point, boys.
You're so fucked.
I mean, I kind of like it. Never thought I'd be playing around with you guys from the junior tees.
Forward.
I didn't say lady, I said junior.
Don't be mean to the kids.
The wedding. Shot by an arrow of Cupid through a string of a G clef, my dear, I claim your death. And if you could hear me, by golly G, true Goy is ready for what you possess. We could live in my plug to home, and on Mars where we could be all alone. And we make
What an electric start to the round for the boys.
It's on fire right now.
Let's go.
It shows you how out of it I am. I marked my ball and I didn't pick up the ball.
Oh no. Oh! This guy.
3 points.
For as much as people think it's about golf, for me it's really about travel. Like, it's about the places I go and the people I connect with. And for me, that's travel. You know, I've always been that way. You know, it's funny doing this trip with you guys because everything's so regimented, right? And I was thinking about this. I was like, you know, my entire life, I never planned anything. Come on! You know, when I started this whole thing, the original vision was I want to be a commercial golf course photographer. So on the initial trip, I was really, you know, I had set aside a certain amount of money that I was going to travel the U.S. with and photograph courses, build my portfolio in golf, right? My background was in landscape and wildlife photography, and, you know, I was just fortunate. I saw the correlation between how I shoot golfers candidly on a golf course and how I would, you know, stalk grizzly bears and moose and bison. And, you know, like literally I'd be out in the wild photographing animals the same way that you're seeing me, you know, crawl in the bushes and get you on a tee box. Like, legitimately. Talking about my style of photography, right? Like, I'm always looking to, like, put myself in the shit, right? Like, I want really compelling foregrounds. And my lifestyle is pretty unique, so it's relatable to people, right? It's appealing to people because it's so different, right? You think about golf travel and staying at resorts, and you know, here we are today at a RV park golf course.
That's what I wanted to ask you.
Like, this is right up my alley, right? Like, you know, a lot of people travel and stay in fancy resorts and have nice accommodations or stay in a local area hotel where I'm like, hey, can I sleep in your parking lot? I sleep everywhere and anywhere. So, you know, my lifestyle and my style of travel is very, very different. And I think that's one of the reasons it's so appealing to people, for sure.
Yeah.
Like this hole tight, you know, it's short, but it's not a driver. And then the next hole is longer and just as tight. So, yeah, it's a tough course, man. When I came here, half the the PI junior team played out of here.
Good. Sick. Yeah. Job, bud.
Oh, I knew it. It was the exact one I said. It was cool. It was definitely the course that, like, the rough around the edges, right? I called it, you know, there's an expression for Pacific Grove in Monterey, the poor man's pebble. I call it, what did I call that? Cheap man's cabin. You know, it's like, it's an affordable golf course on the water. It's got the views.
Oh yeah.
Get that? That really did flip on you. I'm kind of sorry about it.
Yeah, sure you are.
Yeah.
Partner!
Let him in.
That's the bird?
Good bird.
Let's go! Let's go! I did not expect, like, we talked a lot about momentum of not only itinerary on this trip, but also golf course routings, and that within 9 holes, you think, oh, 4 par 5s, what the hell is this gonna be? And I love that you start quite open, and you go into these trees that are so narrow on 5 and 6, and then you start coming out on 7, 8, 9, and just like the exclamation mark at the end of that 9-holer is wild. And for me, that's what stood out about Belfast Highlands was just the momentum and how clutch it is at the end.
You know, it's a little rough around the edges, but it also fits my lifestyle really, really well. RV park golf course. Staff was awesome.
All right, just finished Belfast Highland Greens. Pat's going to tell us what the logistics are right now. I know it's a tight schedule.
Boys, so we're supposed to be at Bogside Brewing in 3 minutes ago. And restaurants and PEI on Sundays close at 8 p.m. And if you look at our blue tea friend over here, 7:48, we're half an hour from the restaurant. Not sure if we're going to get dinner tonight.
Dinner tonight?
I need a beer.
The crew just got to Brudenell River Resorts. Had to skip out on the brewery, unfortunately. Not enough time. We're just gonna get some food here, watch the end of the US Open, call it a night. We have Dundarave first thing in the morning, so place looks awesome. Oh my gosh, drop your phone right on the reverse mid stride. That's scary.
Alright.
There we go. We made it. What hole's this? 5 at Dundarave. Looks sweet.
You know, we spend a lot of time on site, you know, during construction. During the winter time. So we did get out there, you know, with some snowshoes, and we were able to get along the edge of the river. The snow was so deep, it was probably a good 1.5 to 2 meters. I'll never forget, it was physically exhausting, and I probably couldn't even do it today. But you take 2 steps and then you would sink to your waist in the snow. Literally would have to grab onto 2 spruce branches and lift yourself up. You'd put another ribbon, and then you'd take another 2 steps, and then you'd sink back down again. I remember my hamstrings being on fire. And that's what happened, is that then they took in clearing machines with cat tracks, and that's how they started to do the clearing for the job.
Shot. No, that's good.
And so the premise of what Dana was hired to do is to basically create the Tom Fazio look. You have to understand Dana's background is that he worked for Tom Fazio as a shaper for 5 years. Pete and Alice Dye actually introduced Dana and Mike Herdson together. And then Mike hired Dana with the premise that he had to go live on the job in Toronto and build Devil's Pulpit. And so that would have been about 80, that would have been 89. And then while they were doing that is, when the guys found the land for the paintbrush, and then paintbrush was built in 1990. So I started with a company back in 1994 or 5. I forget the year now. That was back, of course, in the day with the big earth moving, big bunkering, and I know that they've toned that down. For the most part, your views are very, a lot of them are long distance, when you're up on 17 and 18 and down along the river, on 8 and 9 and 5. And so, you get this part of the reason, we call it a big golf course. The fairways are wide, the grading is bold, the bunkers were big, the greens, for the most part, at least they used to be big. And so, but then people sort of steer to the thought that, well, geez, these guys had an infinite amount of land or terrain, and because they're looking out across such a vast landscape. But what gets lost a lot of times, not just at Dundarave, but when people are looking and reviewing golf courses, or what were the environmental and the legal restrictions, that came along with that. And so, of course, we had, the road that you cross over, to get up to hole number, over to 3 and then come back across on 4. People often will ask and they'll say, well, why is it a non-returning golf course if you had so much land? Well, the reason is that we had to start at the clubhouse, at the existing clubhouse, and yet we wanted to get all the way out to 8 and 9 along the river. And there was no way to do that and yet get back to the clubhouse with returning 9s. It was impossible.
I want to do a bit of a deep dive on 8. Today, it feels like the perfect distance for a drivable par 4. Oh. Back then, when you designed it, was it always a reachable par 4 or not?
No. We talk about this constantly now, but back then we used to set our dog legs in imperial units was 810 feet. You were basically at 280 yards, give or take. And so nowadays, it went all the way up to 300, and people sort of balked at that. And, right now, if we're working on championship golf, or, even if it's for amateur golf, our turning points now are 320 yards. Was number 8 ever envisioned as a drivable par 4? No. 16 was, but certainly not 8. I'd say most people obviously take a golf cart on number 9. I think what's also pretty fascinating now is that is a fairly hard dog leg to the right. Back in the day, I don't know that people were able to hit it quite as far down there. I know they weren't. Modern times now, it's probably even created, even a harder dog leg. And it's probably even enhanced the angle, because the further you hit it down there, the harder dog legs and the narrower it gets. So from a strategy standpoint, frankly, it's probably even a little more interesting now than it was even back then.
Boom. Attaboy, Cardis. Attaboy. I got that. I got it.
You missed them all.
So Dundarave, fair to say, I don't think was the best golf course on this lineup. We're obviously at Cabot right now. We have Highlands Links. We started the Algonquin. What did you guys like about it? What didn't you guys like about it?
The conditioning was fantastic. It had a lot of qualities that I really, really enjoyed.
Yeah, I think so. Some of us got beat up a little bit out there. I happen to play well, but but it was just like a strong. It was like a test. It was like I got kind of tournament golf course vibes, and it's probably good at being that. Yeah. And that's maybe its place on the island.
That's how I would describe Dundarave. Like it's a solid golf course on the island. The red sand kind of gives it that PEI vibe. And like Brandon said, it's like a championship. Felt like a championship, like a golf course, and it was a challenge. And I know they do host a lot of tournaments there. Like they have qualifiers and team tryouts and stuff at Dundarave, and it's a good course for that because it's a test. And 16 as well. I think 16 is an awesome hole. I love that on a golf course, having a risk reward opportunity, kind of late in the round. Short par 4. I think a couple of us drove it. Yeah, two of you drove it that day and had eagle putts.
We're just on the 16th hole at Dundarave. Maybe the best hole on this golf course, to be honest. Emil just tossed a dart with the driver. The short 4, it was playing like 275, and Emil with 20-foot look at eagle.
You know, it was always the intent that you're going to have this heroic carry straight at the green, and so to create different strategies and different angles into the green, and the more that you risked it, you know, the more that you were able to get a reward. 17, you know, fit really well. Beautiful view, obviously, from the tees. Back in the day, it was considered to be long. You know, and then the par 5, which again, back then it was pretty long. You know, today's players probably can regularly reach that. You know, you got to pay attention to the water. I think it's a really interesting mix. You know, a gambling short par 4, a solid par 3, you know, and then a mid-level par 5. You know, creates a lot of opportunities to make up strokes.
Yeah, thanks for coming out. Thanks, Mike. Hold on. Appreciate it. No? It's a fun 2 days.
All right, what's happening right now?
Emil misplaced his 2-iron. King G5 2-iron. It's not a new one.
I mean, what year did
hard to find.
What year did that club come out?
And then Cardis just called a buddy and he had the club, like immediately.
I'll find a way to get it to him later on, so you don't have to ship it.
What if I overnight it to you guys where you're at?
He's in Canada. We're in Canada. I guess you could send it to Cabot. It would be a Cabot by the time we got there. I mean, that's a hell of a story. Can you reshaft it? He's super tall. He's 6'5". Can you reshaft it 1.5 inches long or do something to it?
Yeah, of course I could, bro. Anything for you, you're making the call.
Anything for you.
So it's already an inch over standard.
That's pretty good.
Good enough.
That's good enough, yeah, for sure.
It's good enough. All right, let me work on getting you an address. I'll text you in a little bit. Dude, I fucking love you. Just let me know what it is.
What is this connection?
I'll get you the cash.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the ferry ride. No slot machines.
Really curious about that slot. I feel like I've been lied to.
You think someone's lying to you about the slots?
Yeah.
Just to get your goose?
It's a cool lounge, but I don't see any slot machines. I was pretty pumped up about it. No slot.
There's gotta be someone here.
We're going to the bathroom. You coming?
No slot machines, but there was ice cream. So that was nice. That was a nice little treat. Far way over. Cardis inspired me to get a, twist cone.
Cardis also took a nap.
Cardis took a nap.
I made the most of that ferry ride. I don't know what you're talking about. I took photos, video, a nap, ice cream.
Modeled for the push golf as well.
I did. All right, when you're ready, go all the way over.
Shot I got.
Race the other direction. Oh yeah, that should feel real good in the lower back.
You know, next time you see your dormy friends, you tell them.
I will.
You tell them about
I'm gonna say
my-
that I could
my
you can
weird
buy them
thing
all,
for
and
head
they owe me
covers.
a percentage of the $600 you spent.
Way better than driving, for sure.
Way better than driving.
Yeah, nice to have the
You
break.
always choose the ferry over driving. For the price you're gonna pay for a ferry, you probably would have put that money into gas to get to wherever you're going.
Yeah.
Spend the money for the ferry. You get to chill. You get to enjoy it.
Yeah. We almost had a drone incident. Close.
Yeah.
Close call.
Yeah,
That's why
probably
you
would've
don't
jumped,
launch drones off of moving ferries. That was another really long day. I mean, if my interview's fucked up, it's because these guys are tired and You know, we're out here grinding. As much as it seems like we're having fun and this is like a relaxing golf trip, like it has been nonstop since we got here. Nonstop. This is day 2. It would have been really great if you guys would have budgeted $10 for bug spray. I've thought that multiple times on this trip.